Hey everybody, welcome back. It's been a while, but welcome back to my channel. Now, I'm here with a new project that I'm doing. It's not music, I'm not playing any music today, not doing any of that. It's a little bit different from usual, but it's a way to keep, making sure that I work on this channel and work on particular projects. Now, this is going to be a weekly thing. I haven't put a name for it yet, but basically, it's a way to not only put content on this channel, but also to keep me listening to music. So it's a little win-win for both. Because I love listening to music, but with work, it's been very hard to do that. So what this is, every Friday or Wednesday, wherever I decide to put on there, maybe even Sunday, I'm going to come out with my own album review. It's going to be about 5 minutes each time, talking about how the CD is, whether it's good or bad, what type of audience does it work with, should you buy it, anything like that. I'm not really going to do a rating scale just yet, only because I don't really have one. Now, if people are all for that, I will definitely start doing that. But as of right now, this is just me more talking about musical aspects of CDs and whether or not you should buy them. Now, with that in mind, just another quick thing. I will still be doing music. I always will be. It's just what I'm doing right now is a little bit different from what I've been doing before. I've been working on actually a lot more a cappella arrangements, and I would love to put some of those out eventually. I just need to get a little, things taken care of, and get everything settled in my life right now. But this will be a way to keep me going. So without further ado, I want to talk about a CD that I've actually been listening to for the last couple of weeks. It came out about a month ago, and it actually was a surprise. But anyways, let me set the stage. So this band that I'm talking about in particular, I've actually talked about a couple of times before. They're called Snarky Puppy. Now, for those who don't know who they are, if you haven't watched some of my other review, videos, they are a jazz, funk, progressive fusion, I would like to say. They are mainly an instrumental band. Some of their CDs are Tell Your Friends, We Like It Here, Family Dinner, which is probably one of their best known ones because they won a Grammy for one of their songs called Something, which featured Lila Hathaway, who is a jazz singer. Now, Tell Your Friends was a full, CD with Snarky Puppy being an accompaniment and having jazz singers, which was fantastic. It was really cool, and it got me, actually, one of the ways that got me hooked on to Snarky Puppy, as well as listening to them at, listening to one of the jazz ensembles in my school play one of their songs called Benki. So that was also a way I got hooked onto them, but what actually got me more engaged with them was their last CD that came out in 2014 in early January. And I haven't made my 2014 CD list, but if I would have, at some point in time when I do, I would say that that CD, We Like It Here, is easily top 5 on my list. Maybe even top 2, not exactly sure, but still a lot of CDs I have to listen to. Eventually that will come out. But anyways, I thought that was their best CD by far. Now, turn to about a month ago. They come out with a CD called Sylva, and it's them and another group called the Metropole Orchestre. Now, I haven't really listened to any of them, but my jazz friends tell me that they are a jazz symphony band. And they're, they play anything. They have strings, they have oboes, they have trumpets, trombones, tubas, the whole 9 yards. Now, I would love to listen to them now because of the CD, but putting them together is something incredible. The CD is only 6 songs. It's about 55 minutes, and it's a live set. You can actually watch the whole thing on YouTube as well. They actually pair the first 3 songs together because they all flow so well. And then you have the other 3 on their own. So I'm going to actually read off... Oh, yeah, I'm going to read off the names of the songs. As you can see, doing a little bit of research really quickly. They're all interesting names, and if I mess up one, I do apologize. But, so you start with Sintra, then you have Flight, and Achafalaya. That was horrible. Anyways, those 3 are together, and then you have The Curtain, you have Gretel, and you have The Clearing. Now, in terms of accessibility, this is a very, very, very well done CD. Very beautiful. Sintra, it's kind of like that feeling. If any of you have ever played, the thing that it reminded me of, if you ever played Bioshock, or think of like any of those old-timey like superhero themes, definitely has a feel of that, at least in the beginning. It has just cello, violins, violas. It's beautiful. And then it starts coming on a little bit stronger with trumpets and everyone else playing. And then, after that beautiful song, then you have Flight, which is fantastic. I actually listened to the CD the first time at work. I was doing paperwork, and then all of a sudden the little piano line, electric piano line, comes in, and it just like caught me off guard. I had to look up and actually listen to what the hell was going on, and I loved it ever since. But the greatest thing about the CD is each song is fantastic, 1, but 2, it has so much variance in it, because you have the strings in the first song, and then you have more electronic feel as well as horn sections in the second song. And then when you get to, I'm not going to say the third song again, when you get to that one, it's more of like a second line marching band feel, and how they all interact together is absolutely amazing. Then you have The Curtain. Honestly, to me, maybe the weakest song on there, but it's also a 15-minute song, and it's also has a lot of really cool parts. For me, in particular, the chord progression that they have, it actually goes in between different keys, and for those who are know about music theory, it starts out in G, then it goes into E, then it goes into C sharp, and then it goes into B flat. Now, for those who don't know what that is together, all 4 of those is a diminished chord, which is really cool to go into all these different key centers, because I've never really heard that before. And it's amazing to hear, especially when they've put out 5 CDs already, to be able to hear different ideas that I've never heard from them before. Just knows that they just keep going with what they have, and keep putting out new stuff, and it always feels original. But at least with The Clearing, it does get a little bit interesting at the latter part, though the bass solo is really, really cool. It's really different from what I've heard before for a lot of songs. So that's also a really good song. Gretel, 4 minutes of pure bliss. Pure fucking bliss. It's in 5/4. I believe it's 5/4. Sorry, as you can tell, I've done a lot of research on it. Anyways, really, really cool. I'm not going to spoil the ending, but just be wary for the last minute and a half, because I have to put it on every day. For me, that's my guilty pleasure song right now. If you want to call it guilty pleasure, I just need to hear that particular line over and over again, because it's so well done. And then finally, the other song is called The Clearing. The beginning of it's kind of slow, but once you get into the 3 minutes in, it's just really cool. really, really beautiful full chords, and a chord progression that I don't usually hear, and it's everyone playing, everybody. So the strings, the horns, pianos, everything at the same time. It's gorgeous, gorgeous. And then halfway through, it gets to this other part, which is really, really cool, really, really catchy, funky. Guitar section's really cool, and how the horns interact with each other, amazing. So that's my take on the CD. In terms of people listening to it, honestly, jazz people, jazz lovers, funk lovers, progressive lovers, take a listen to it. It would be a disservice to not do it, and please pay full attention to it. You can't be background noise. You have to listen to it. Right now, it's one of my favorite CDs of all time. Definitely the number one CD I've heard this year. For everybody else, it's not necessarily the most accessible thing in terms of jazz, but definitely take a listen to it if you can, because it's beautiful. Anyways, that's my take. I'll see you guys next Friday.